News is coming in. The Ministry of Home Affairs has decided not to talk on that issue, that war of words that's playing out between Lieutenant Governor Najeeb Jung and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The MHA says that LG and Chief Minister are competent enough to handle the situation. Sources say the LG had informally briefed the Home Ministry about Gamlin's appointment. Jung advised to act as per the Constitution. Let's get a word from our Executive Editor Javed Ansari, who's with us live from our newsroom. Also with us Pankaj Upadhyay, who's with us live in the National Capital. I want to come to you first, Javed Ansari. As expected, the Central Home Ministry refusing to comment on the issue.
Yes, they've chosen to keep the powder dry, but enough is being said both by the office of the Chief Minister as well as that of the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. And in this unseemly row have been dragged in the hapless bureaucrats. The bureaucrats have been following orders, whether it is from the Lieutenant Governor or whatever, and they've been penalized for that. This doesn't say much for harmonious relationship between the bureaucracy and the government of the day, because bureaucrats at the end of the day were just following orders. Why should they be penalized?
Absolutely. Bureaucrats being dragged into the middle of the controversy, not just Shakuntala Gamlin. The Secretary of Services also is first removed by the Delhi government and then is reinstated by the Lieutenant Governor. Let's also get a word from Pankaj Upadhyay, who's been tracking this story for us. Pankaj, how are other officers of the Delhi government reacting to this controversy?
Simi, you know, at a time when questions are being asked on what exactly Arvind Kejriwal has done for Delhi, one gets the feeling that Arvind Kejriwal is not making many friends after this controversy. You know, this entire controversy still rages on. War of words is still there. So you have blamed the political class, which is going to gun from you from here on. You have blamed the bureaucratic class, and you have thrown the name of a senior bureaucrat out in the open, which ideally should not have happened. Then you have blamed the power companies as well. And on top of that, you level allegations that the political class, the bureaucrats and the power companies form a nexus as well. And we are the Messiah. We are here to break that nexus. Now, realizing Arvind Kejriwal, really realizing, leave aside the ego battle with the LG, realizing that the entire controversy might snowball and see the popularity chart dip. He is now resorted to Twitter as well, asking the people whether a person who was very close to a power lobby, should she be elevated. At the same time saying that there is a nexus between the politicians, the bureaucrats and the power companies, and that we are here to break it, and that is why everyone is ganged against us. But then let us also understand, Arvind Kejriwal has taken it to a very legal side as well. In the letter, which had certain hard-hitting pointers against the LG, the fact also remains he has clearly enumerated certain pointers, giving out certain rules of rule number 49, 50, 51 and 52, wherein he clearly says that the LG does not really have such powers and that the concerned minister should have been taken into consideration as well. Absolutely. Now they have sought time with the president as well. Perhaps this is the time that president would have to kind of clear the air of the entire issue as well.
Right. All right, Pankaj, stay on with us. Let's also get a word from Raghav Chadha, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, who's with us on the phone line. Raghav Chadha, the Delhi government doesn't end up looking good at the end of the day. First, they're levelling allegations which they cannot back with proof against a senior bureaucrat who Arvind Kejriwal reportedly doesn't want to take over the position of interim chief secretary. And then the services secretary is removed from the post in a knee-jerk reaction for acting on the orders of the Lieutenant Governor. After he is reinstated, the Delhi government ends up looking not very smart.
You see, I think there is a lot of disinformation, particularly by some selective leaks made by certain officials to some cozy journalists. Let me make 3 or 4 things very clear. Number one, nobody has been removed. Only additional charge assigned to a particular person has been withdrawn pending an inquiry. So nobody has either been suspended or been expelled from duty, number one. Number two, as far as these allegations, these so-called allegations... So
you're saying the services secretary wasn't removed at all? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, yes. Only the charge of a particular department was relieved. He was relieved from a particular charge.
Because it's not a cozy club of journalists, Raghav Chadha. It's not a cozy club of journalists which is saying that the Lieutenant Governor, in an open letter which he's also shared with the media, says that the Delhi government has removed the services secretary. And I'm saying that their order is null and void.
Can I please complete my point?
Go ahead.
The secretary has only been relieved of a particular charge pending an inquiry because that particular secretary acted in gross contravention of the transaction of business rules, which is well within the rights of the chief minister to temporarily remove a particular person from a particular department in pending an inquiry. Number one. Number two, as far as these concerns regarding the power secretary are concerned, the power minister has written a note to the Honorable Chief Minister saying that the power secretary has been pressurizing the power minister in order to safeguard the interest of Reliance-owned BSES Yamuna and BSES Rajdhani, and have been pressurizing the power minister to issue a comfort letter which means a guarantee
then why write a secret note? Why write a secret note? Why couldn't the government have initiated a departmental inquiry?
Well, all those things will happen. Those things are not decided in Headlines Today studios as to what.
No, it's not decided in the Headlines Today studio, but that letter, that secret letter was allegedly written on the 6th of May. No, Raghav. No, you said what you had to. You unnecessarily accusing the media of spreading lies when actually the facts that you're putting out have been put out by the Chief Minister's office and the Lieutenant Governor's office. I'm sorry, you can't continue saying, no, you're making false allegations. These facts have been verified by the Lieutenant Governor's office and the Chief Minister's office. We're not cooking up stories here.
The Chief Minister has written a letter to the Honorable LG quoting provisions of the rules, quoting articles of the Constitution, and clearly pointing out how the LG has acted in a unilateral, unconstitutional manner, subverting the democratically elected government and directly appointing an interim CS, which is in gross contravention to the transaction of business rules, to the NCT Act and to the Constitution, number one. Number two, everybody knows this, that how the LG's office has been, or the governor's office has been previously misused by various central governments. This is another textbook example of the BJP trying to indirectly and now directly take charge of the Delhi government, because they were reduced to they were decimated in the last assembly elections. The LG has essentially attempted to render the democratically elected government ineffective. I can argue this on moral grounds. I can argue this on legal grounds. And all those people who are claiming that this is against the rule book, I challenge them to quote one provision.
Okay, so I tell you what, as far as constitutional provisions are concerned, Raghav, now, okay, you've had your say. As far as constitutional provisions are concerned, constitutional experts on our channel have also come on record and said that the LG is authorized to take these decisions. A. B. Your Chief Minister comes out, and your Power Minister also. There are serious allegations being levelled against a senior bureaucrat who spent years in the services without any proof. So basically, a senior officer's reputation is being put on the line because the AAP government hasn't been able to fulfill promises that you made to the people of Delhi.
Now, first of all, the government is elected for 5 years. The government is not elected for 100 days. We have delivered on our promises on electricity, our promises on water, and we are in the course of delivering on all the promises that we've made. So it would be extremely unfair to judge the performance of a government and the completion and complete delivery.
But why would you tarnish the reputation of a senior official like that?
Now,
what proof do you have?
Madam,
before tarnishing the reputation of a senior government officer, your party should put out evidence.
Again and again, how can I make my point? You have to give me time to respond.
But you need to get to the point faster.
Now, please give me some time to respond. First of all, this whole allegation regarding inability to complete promises is absolutely malicious, number one. Number two, as far as allegations with respect to a particular officer is concerned, the CM, the Deputy CM and the Council of Ministers have reasonable evidence to suggest that that particular officer has been lobbying for Reliance-owned BSES Yamuna and BSES Rajdhani. Those documentary evidences with respect to her pressurizing the Power Minister to issue a loan of 11,000 crore rupees on the sovereign guarantee of Delhi government are also there. An inquiry will take place and all these matters will come out. My simple question is that if an officer does not enjoy the support and does not enjoy the goodwill of the Chief Minister, of the Council of Ministers and of the Deputy Chief Minister, how can the LG, after hearing all the reasonable apprehensions and reservations of a democratically elected government, unilaterally and unconstitutionally go ahead and appoint this? When you are showing the letter of the LG, please also show the letter of my Chief Minister. In that, all the legal provisions and everything has been clearly articulated.
Party and the Delhi government before an inquiry has been completed to make these allegations public against a senior government official.
First of all, with respect to this official, it is only this official and the LG and certain officers in the MHA that released all these selectively to certain cozy journalists. It is not the Aam Aadmi Party or the Aam Aadmi Party Delhi government that leaked it to the media, number one. The LG and the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister and the government of the day has all the right, and they are well within their right to express reservations with respect to a concerned officer.
All right, Raghav Chadha, you're obviously entitled to your own opinion. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing your views with us. That was AAP spokesperson Raghav Chadha saying that the Delhi government has the right to appoint officers of its own choice. Of course, we've also been speaking to constitution experts who say that the Lieutenant Governor is within his mandate to appoint senior officials. Javed Ansari, our executive editor, is with us live from the newsroom. Javed Ansari, you heard what the Aam Aadmi Party has to say. They're refusing to back down. They're saying that no action that they've taken so far is unconstitutional. They're saying that Arvind Kejriwal has the right to appoint officials of his own choice, and also the Aam Aadmi Party remains unapologetic about putting a senior bureaucrat's reputation on the line.
But I'm not surprised, because having taken this decision, they have to defend it in public, and that's precisely what their spokespersons are doing. They in fact have decided to escalate it. There's a all-out war on Twitter happening. They've the officer who put into practice what the LG had said, he has been removed. Action has been taken against him. He's been penalized. So obviously they've also decided to go to the president. So obviously they're not going to back down. They in fact are intent on politicizing this issue. They're saying that the Lieutenant Governor is acting at the behest of the BJP government at the centre.
Ansari, thanks so much for putting these developments into perspective for us. Now, considering that Arvind Kejriwal has sought an appointment with the president, I'm guessing that a final word will come out of Rashtrapati Bhavan. We'll continue tracking developments on this story that's emerging from the national capital.